We've been getting a lot of questions from viewers that relate to psychological health, and Dr. Judy has some answers. So are you all ready to get psyched?
Yes.
For our next question, Nikki is joining us via Skype. So, Nikki, thanks for being with us. What's your question?
Hi, doctors. So about 9 years ago, my son and I, we were in a car accident. We were hit by a drunk driver. Although I was just a passenger, I am like totally traumatized. So now I leave an hour in advance just for a trip that may take 20 minutes. What are some tips and strategies you can help me overcome this fear?
Okay, Nikki, I'm sorry that happened to you, but it makes so much sense that you would have these fears now, especially because you were the passenger. Because when you're the passenger, you're out of control of the situation. So you just kind of saw it unfold in front of you and you didn't have anything that you could do. And so the problem is avoidance is a really big issue. And so sometimes you might say, I'm not gonna drive, I'm gonna avoid, going very far. Well, that's actually gonna make your symptoms worse. So we do have to confront it, but in a very safe way. And there's a scientific way called systematic desensitization. It's a cognitive behavioral therapy technique, and I want you to try this. You can definitely do it yourself. What I want you to do is to develop an anxiety hierarchy. So you start by writing down your least distressing scenarios that you can think of that have to do with cars and driving, all the way to the most distressing scenario. And for each of those, you're gonna rate them on a scale of 1 to 10, which is going to be your subjective unit of distress. And so 10 would be the worst thing that you can imagine, and 1 is barely registering for your anxiety. And then you're going to then expose yourself one step at a time from the least feared situation to the most feared, until each one is at a 3 or lower in terms of distress. So what we do is we get you to face one situation, get you to practice some coping techniques like deep breathing and listening to calming music. When that kind of calms down, you go to the next one. So what is one thing that you can think of right now that might be a little scary, but maybe not the most scary thing in terms of driving?
Someone honking their horn at me.
Okay, so that's gonna be a little hard to replicate on your own because you won't know who's gonna honk at you when. But a good thing to do is just to go driving, and then when that happens, have a couple of coping techniques prepared, whether it's playing calm music in the car, taking 10 deep breaths. That would be a really good one. What's your most feared one right now?
Having another car accident.
Okay, exactly. So that one's gonna be at the very top of your scale, and this is nothing that you can 100% prevent, but writing down a list of things that you could do if you see erratic drivers is going to help you know how to deal with that situation if that comes up.
Okay, thank you, Doctor.
You're
Thank you.
welcome, Nikki.
I think those pieces of advice are so relevant for any anxiety, like anything that people might have as a stumbling block. Following those recommendations, I think, would be really applicable.
Yeah, the anxiety hierarchy is known to work, but it's scary because it makes you confront things that you're afraid of, but the avoidance makes it worse, and so it's sort of getting at it in a stepwise fashion.
But Nikki, obviously, all of this fear isn't gonna go away just today. So we're gonna set you up with 12 therapy sessions with Stacy Franklin, psychotherapist and owner of ThriveWorks Counseling and Coaching in Peachtree City, Georgia. Thank you so much for asking that question. We wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you.